Demm did the research. I just said that Chick-fil-A was coming out with something called an Ice Dream Spin or Float, where they'll mix their soft serve ice cream in 4 markets so far, and then they're going to hopefully take it nationwide with a soft drink, so you can have like a float. He said, "Why are you calling it Ice Dream?" I said, "What do you mean? That's what they call it." He said, "Is it ice cream or not?" I said, "You're damn right. It's 100% ice cream."
Yeah, it's funny. You really got into both of us on that one because I said, I don't think it is. And you said, oh, it's ice cream.
Oh, don't worry.
You went hard for your old
Why would
favorite.
they invent something called Ice Dream if they could call it iced cream?
Because they wanted to jazz it up. They wanted to make it their own. You know?
Give it some flair. Give it some flair. That's marketing.
Because everybody loves to dream, right?
That's marketing. Everybody loves to dream. Dream big.
You may not be as locked in as you used to be there, but you're still kind of in the cult.
Yeah, I'm in the cult.
Kind of like those Branch Davidians who still say Koresh had some good ideas.
Right.
Is the app still on your phone, Kelly?
Yes.
Yeah.
It is. Well, my children eat there all the time.
Okay.
I mean, my daughter ate there 2 nights ago. You know,
Okay.
yes, I'll order on the app. You know how difficult it is to pick up food for the whole family from Chick-fil-A and not eat any of it? That smell.
That is something.
That's difficult to do. Well, Chris Demm did the research, and what is it they serve?
A delicious frozen dairy treat with an old-fashioned vanilla taste.
Just like Grandma used to make.
That's right. Frozen dairy treat.
It's cold and you'll like it.
It's a frozen dairy treat. That's right. It's not exactly ice cream. Oh, good news, Biggie. Ohtani just homered. Biggie had money on Ohtani homering, and he's done
Just went yard.
Put the Dodgers up 6-2, and that makes Biggie money. He's homered.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the problem is I need to go back and look. I think I'm going to take the Cubs to win.
Oh,
I need to pull up my app here.
Okay.
They're down 6.
But the fact that Ohtani homered, that's good.
That's good for you.
So Chick-fil-A does not have ice cream.
Right.
And I hate to do this to you again, but McDonald's does not either.
That's ridiculous.
It's soft serve, but it's just it does not meet the definition of ice cream.
Ice cream.
And I bet it's been like that forever. I'm not even sure they ever had ice cream. Although I think when they introduced them, they called them ice cream sundaes.
I think they did, too.
So maybe by law they, I don't know if they skirted the law then.
Remember in that movie they showed about the founding of McDonald's? At one point they were making their milkshakes by just mixing a powder with water.
Yeah.
That was a big problem for them when they made the milkshakes. Like the storing of and the cooling of the ice cream.
The dairy stuff.
Took a ton of work and energy and space. So that was difficult for McDonald's when they first started. Now, Chris Demm also looked up Krispy Kreme, and they do call it ice cream. Remember when they came out, this is our dear friend Dave Aiken was on the air, and I heard him say, as he was in the afternoon, I was listening to our station, Dave was on, and Dave said, here's a little something for you. Krispy Kreme's got ice cream for the summer. All sorts of different flavors, y'all.
Yeah.
Krispy Kreme. And that's it. Here's Smash Mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Here's Red Hot Chili Peppers. Dave was doing that. So, 3 days later, I come in here and I say, hey, Dave, how about that Krispy Kreme ice cream? And Dave says, the hell are you talking about?
And then you said, well, I heard.
I said, well, I heard that Krispy Kreme was having ice cream. Who the hell did you hear that from? What kind of loser said that? I was like, well, you did, Dave. You said that.
Yeah.
He had zero.
In this room.
In this room, right here. He had no memory of that whatsoever.
That's when you stop trying to reach out to them. To try to connect with them on a different level.
That was the end. That's right. Well, I try to connect on a different level. I said, how about that ice cream at Krispy Kreme, Dave? What are you talking about? You don't have no ice cream at Krispy Kreme. You sure do. So here's what happened last night. My son is home. Today's his birthday. He's 20. All right. This is a big deal for us.
It's a big deal.
Yeah.
Will there be exchanging of gifts later?
Yes, tonight, and we have a cake ready to go.
Will the gifts exchange take place at his dinner or at home?
At home. We'll go out for dinner.
You are going out. That's what I was going to ask. Okay.
We've made it a bit of a tradition. He likes a certain place.
Okay.
We go there.
Are the gifts a secret?
Yes, from me as well. They are a secret. My wife has bought them, and I
Just signed your name to the card?
I'm going to say they are in Blaze, Tennessee orange, but I don't know. And she's gotten him a few things, and then we are exchanging gifts when we get home and having cake and ice cream. Well, I don't know if it's ice cream or not, honestly.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You can bring home some of that fake
some
stuff.
sort of treat. It's a frozen treat.
Let me tell you, you've played your role well in 20 years as dad.
Haven't I?
Has no real clue as to ever what's really going on.
I really never. You really, as a father, know about 10% of what's going on around the house. That's it. So last night, my wife had said, block out Tuesday and Wednesday. Your son will be home. We're spending quality family time. And we are. We did.
And now your friends are going to come calling.
They have.
They're going to say, hey, man, let's play some pickle.
Oh, and perfect. I mean, absolutely perfect days.
2 best days of the year to play pickle.
Hands down.
100% right. And I had to tell everybody. I had to tell Tracy. I had to tell John. I had to tell James. I had to tell...
Even I drugged this half-dead body outside yesterday.
Exactly.
Wow.
Look, if Biggie's out there, you know. In a moment, we're talking about on National Backyard Game Day, the best backyard game. Biggie's best backyard game, getting to the car. That's what he
Survival.
plays.
Survival.
Every day he plays that. So my wife says, we're playing a board game. You pick it at your birthday. He chooses Pictionary. All right. We've had some knockdown, drag out Pictionary fights in the past. And my son says, this will be easy work, men versus women. Pound this rock. Pound. Well, my wife and daughter don't take kindly to that, but we play the game. As always, it's competitive. Now, we got off to a huge lead. We go almost all the way around the board. We're like 3 from victory. But I know the way Pictionary works. It's like you get close to the end, and then you have to roll an exact... We needed a 3 to get on the final block.
Oh.
And if you don't roll exactly a 3, you have to stay where you are, and the other team takes time.
They can catch up. Okay.
And so we kept playing and kept playing. We never could roll a 3, and they got closer and closer and closer. And now they had passed us. They were on the final block.
Ooh.
And so the women were going to win if they got one more right. And it's our turn, and it's my son's turn to draw. And he draws the card, and it was not one of those all plays. It was only going to be him drawing it. And it's not an all play. So I'm the only one that won't know the word.
On what do you draw? Do you have a giant easel with one of these?
Yeah, I'm trying to picture this.
Can you set the table for us here?
We're at the dining room table, and we have whiteboards like y'all use
for dry erase.
Dry erase boards.
Okay.
Now, we used to use paper, which was my preferred method, but a few years ago, we went more environmental, and my wife said we're not going to be wasting a bunch of paper, so she bought dry erase boards and markers.
So everyone has a board?
Yes, and a marker.
And how would you rate 1 through 4? Let's seed the best artists in the room.
Man, hard to say. The A-Train, my wife is really good at it.
Okay.
And I would say she may be the best artist. And then everybody's almost exactly the same. It's crude, it's rudimentary. Pictionary. You try your best. You do the best you can. Well, my son picks the card. And this is a critical moment of the game. And he says, I don't know what this is. I'm not drawing it.
Can you do that?
Is that an option?
When they were 8, 9, 10, 12, sometimes my wife and I would see it, and it would be something real. It'd be like Walter Cronkite, or Ronald Reagan sometimes. And when we go, well, they don't really know. We can't.
Okay. Put it back in the deck.
Put it back in the deck, yeah. And occasionally. But now he's 20, and it's like, seems like everything should be fair game. She's 16. So my son said, I don't know what this is. I'm not drawing it. And he pushed it across the table. And my wife and my daughter look at it and go, you can absolutely draw that. And if you don't know what that is, then shame on you. You're drawing it. And I'm the only one that doesn't know what it is.
So now 3 people in the room know.
No, because they're not part of it. He's going to draw it. And he goes, I don't know what that is. And my daughter goes, you can get it a different way, which I think means like, a sounds like or something.
Sure.
Like, you know how that, you can, even if you don't even know what it is.
You're drawing 2 things together to make it the sound.
Exactly. Like
sand and witch.
Exactly. You can draw sand and then a witch. And I could say sandwich. And she goes, you can get it a different way. He goes, I can't get it a different way. I refuse to draw what is on the card. And they were going back and forth. Now, I had no position in this because I did not know.
Did you sit mute?
I sat mute, as I so often do. I sat mute. And my wife, fire in her eyes, and she goes, you draw what's on there. She knows. They're not going to. We're not. She knew.
Because she knew that he would not be able to draw it?
Yeah. Well, yes.
Or whatever he drew, you could not.
There was that,
figure out.
And so it goes on for like 3 minutes. And he said, do it. I'm not doing it. Right. Back and forth and back and forth. And my daughter's like, you draw what's on that.
Do it right now.
Do it. There's another way. And he goes, the word is Usher. I'm moving on. And well, that, of course, that queered it because now I know it. Now I know it's Usher.
And my daughter said, you should have drawn a black singer. And that's like Usher. That's what she wanted. That's
For
what
your
she-
dad?
That's what she
Yeah, that could have gone many different ways, and none of them politically correct.
He doesn't.
You know what? I suddenly moved to his camp.
Okay. He didn't know like an usher at a movie theater or a
No,
wedding. He
yeah.
didn't know
Oh.
what that was. And
How do you draw Usher?
Yeah.
well, that's tough.
That
That's
is tough.
It's a
It's
very
a tough
tough
assignment.
word.
Do you just write "yeah" on a board?
Yeah.
We can't do a word. You can't.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
She goes, you should have drawn the Super Bowl from 2 years ago, and a black guy with a microphone. And I said,
Patrick Mahomes?
and he goes, you think Whitey over here is going to get that? Now
you're Whitey.
Now I'm Whitey. And my wife said, he wouldn't have gotten it, but you could have drawn it. That's a tough word, and we all get tough words sometimes, you know. And
That is really a hard word.
well, earlier, my daughter had, my wife was drawing for her shrunken head. And my wife said to me, she doesn't know what that is. She's never used that word. I said, tough, draw it. I mean, so precedent had been set.
I see.
But when he said what it was and then put it back, so do
you flip the board at that point?
well, they were
Game
mad.
over?
They were
Oh,
mad,
yeah.
but they kept playing because they were in the final position. So he gets to draw the next card.
It's not an automatic forfeit?
I mean, I thought
know
we
how
should.
that-
I
yeah.
would have claimed victory.
I said, I think we should forfeit our turn. And he goes, oh, no, we're not forfeiting our turn. I didn't know what that was. And he
You
was,
get up there and draw a black guy with a mic, and make your father gasp.
I mean, I would be
My nightmare?
Nat King Cole, Biggie Smalls. I don't know.
I would have said Smokey Robinson. I would have said Michael Jackson.
And frankly,
I don't know.
asking your son to draw a black person. It's a minefield.
You don't
Oh,
draw a
that's what I
black
mean, yeah.
person. You do not draw a black person. I mean, you of course not, obviously. But she said that was a different way you could have gone. You could have drawn somebody singing, and he could have come up
Yeah,
with Usher.
it's a wonderful fact that your children think Usher is Usher.
Right.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You could have him discovering a little Justin Bieber.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now that would have been something.
So he gets to draw the next card, which is, unbeknownst to me at the time, Moon.
Check and mate.
So we get it. He rolls the number we need. We get on the final. We get the last one.
Boom.
Game over.
Oh man, so much taint.
The anger in that house.
Oh.
I said, guys, it's his birthday. I don't care. We're so mad.
I'd have immediately gone up and started playing Usher. Yeah.
They were
Yeah.
complete. I mean, they were right.
I would have flipped the board
Oh.
and stormed out.
They were 100% right. I said to him, I was like, you really messed that up. You can never, ever do that again. And of course, those were like, you did not win this game. Well, the thing is, he says, we've never lost to them. I don't even know if that's true. But he says, men, we never lose. And then later, like he was leaving to go out and watch the basketball game with his friends. He's like, yeah, controversial, but it stands. It stands. I said, son, please. No.
You get to go. I have to
Please,
stay.
No.
Leave
with
now.
And and then, of course, I tried to say, it's a terrific lesson for all. Shut up! Shut up!
I think we should pride
Shut
ourselves.
up, you know?
We should pride ourselves on knowing that our children don't see
Exactly.
color.
Shut up! Shut up! It was a low moment. And then my wife said later, I wasn't forceful enough. I should have said we forfeit the game, which we really should have. I mean, there was no way.
Yeah.
That is the worst. That is the most tainted victory of anything all time. Okay,
Hands down.
hands down.